Hey guys, welcome to Tech Vitals. Today we are going to learn about file handling in Python. So we will be learning how to open the files in Python, how to read the contents of those files, how to write contents in that file, and how to add additional contents in that file in Python. So let's get started. So first, let's create a text file in our project. So right click, new, file, and let's say test.text. Now let's write something in this file. So let's say Happy New Year 2021. Okay, so here we have a test.text file and we just write Happy New Year 2021. Now let's try to open this file in our Python and let's try to read those contents. So we can use the open function to open the files. So let's say file equals open. Now the first parameter must be the file name. So in the double quotes we write the file name, that is test.text, and the second parameter is to determine what do we want to do with this file, that is, do we want to read the contents or we want to write the contents. So right now we are trying to read the contents, so we use R for the read mode. Okay, now in this line we just opened the test.txt file on the read mode and we have stored all the contents of this file in this file variable. So to read the contents of this file we can do file.read method and we can wrap this inside print function. Now if we run this code, it printed Happy New Year 2021, which are the contents of test file. Now let's try to write some contents in this file. So here we replace this R with W, that is for the write mode. Now to write into file we use write method and we can write anything. So let's say instead of Happy New Year 2021, today is the Happy New Year Eve. So let's say Happy New Year Eve 2021. So we just added this Eve in our content. Now let's run this. Okay, now if we check this test file, now as you can see, previously it was Happy New Year 2021, but after using that W keyword, that is for write mode, we have new content, that is Happy New Year Eve 2021. Now let's write something more. File.write, we can use this \n to change the line, and let's also say Merry Christmas, and let's run this. Okay, now if we check this test file, now it has added Merry Christmas on the second line. Now let's remove these two contents and let's write something else. So let's say something else and let's try to run this. And if you check the file, now all the previous contents has been deleted and the file has been overwritten. So now this contains something else. So that means when we use this W mode, that is write mode, the contents of the file will be overwritten, that is all the old contents of the file will be deleted and the new contents will be saved on that file. But what if we don't want to delete the old contents, we just want to add new contents in that file? So in that case, instead of this W keyword, we can use A keyword, that is for append. So append means we just add new contents in the old contents of the file. So now in this test we have this something else, and now we are using this A keyword for appending. So if we write new content and if we run this, now let's check this test file. And as you can see, the old content, that is something else, is still there, and after this something else, it has added this new content. So append is used for the append mode, that is to add some new content in the previous content of that file. So in this file, let's create a new line, so new content, and let's add some more content. So let's add \n for the new line, and let's add something else. Let's say this is a test file, and let's write one more line. This is another line, and let's run this. So now in our test file we have 4 lines, something else, new content, this is a test file, and this is another line. Now we already know how to read those contents. We can just change this A into R for write mode, and inside print function we can use the read function. So this read function will read all the contents. So if we run this, it will print all the contents. So all the 4 lines are here. And we can also use read line method, and this read line method will return only one line of that file, that is the first line. So if we run this, as you can see, it only returned something else, which is the first line. Now to get the second line, we can use the read line again. Now this first read line will return the first line of the content, and this second read line will return the second line. So if we run this, we can see this is something else and new content. So we just got these 2 lines in our console. And we also have read lines method. So let's see what it does. So let's run. Okay, so this will return a list that has all the contents. So the first item of the list is the first line, that is something else. The second item is the second line, third item is the third line, and last item is the last line of the file content. Now let's say you want to read just this third line. What you can do is you can use the index. So this is 0, 1, and 2. So this is 2 index. Now this should return only this line, that is, this is a test file. So let's try to run this. And as you can see, it only returned that third line, which is in the second index of that list. So there are 3 ways to read the contents. One is the read method, which will return all the contents of the file. Then we have read line method, which returns the first line, then second line, and so on. And then we have this read lines method, which will return the list containing all the contents. And using this slicing or indexing, we can get the required line. And the most important thing is that when we open a file, we must close that file after our program is complete. So we have to do file.close, and this is really important because if we don't close our file, that file will be contained in our memory even if the program has been complete. So when we open the file, we always need to close that file. But most of the time when we are working on our project and when we open some file, we always forget to close that file, and that can really affect your memory. So to fix that, we have something called context manager in Python, and we use context manager when we are working with the resources like file or database. So the context manager allows us to allocate and release the resources with a block of code in between. And one of the most common example of context manager is with statement. So let's use that with statement to open the file again. So instead of this method, that is using this open method and storing it in the file variable, what we can do is we can use with statement and then open. We will open the file in the same way, and let's use the read mode, and we use as keyword, and let's say as file. So this is our block of code, and here we can use file.read. Now when we use this context manager using this with statement, we don't need to close the file, because after this block, that is after this with statement, the file will be closed automatically. So even if we forget to close the file, Python will automatically close that file for us, which is a big advantage of context manager. So using this method also, we can read the contents of file. So let's run this. Okay, I forgot to use the print function there. Now let's run this. And as you can see, we got all the contents. If you want to write the file, just change this R into W, and we can do file.write. Let's say tech vitals, and let's run. And now the content is overwritten. If you want to add some more contents, use the a keyword, and let's write this on the next line, and let's say don't forget to subscribe, and let's run this. And in the test file, it added this second line, don't forget to subscribe. So that's how we can do the file handling in Python. And it is always recommended to use the context manager or the with statement to work with the resources like file, because it will automatically close that file for us after that code block is executed. So that's gonna do it for this video. I'll see you soon with the next video. Till then, keep learning. Goodbye.